Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast, because Joey Janela always goes in raw.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Stephen Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to. AEW, what is this one called? Revolution is in the books, Larson. They really brought everything. I thought it was a blast.
It was a fun show.
Really fun show.
Highlighted by, of course, the tag team title match. Wow.
Yeah, that was definitely match. I mean, we have a new AEW champion, John Moxley.
Yeah.
But I think Gian Moxley.
Yeah.
But I think far and away that tag match was man.
The show will be defined in the future, I think, by two things. One, that match, and AEW cementing Orange Cassidy as someone to really pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, Moxley. With that Gian Moxley.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of assumed that was going to happen.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, it's a big moment. It's this title change. Jericho's the first second champion. Yeah. So now we get a new reign with a babyface. What do you think? What do you want to see in John Moxley's title reign?
Pardon me?
What do you want to see in Gian Moxley's?
Thank you.
That's going to get annoying to people.
That's the last time I'll ask.
Okay.
For now.
In his title reign,
Pac.
Short term and long term. What do you want to see?
Pac has to be in the mix at some point because they have history.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Of course. Got to get Pac in there. I feel like it has to be Pac. Pac's like the first name I think he's really got to go against for Double or Nothing.
The developments that we saw during the Pac Orange Cassidy match
with the Lucha Brothers coming out
might preclude him from getting mixed up with Moxley.
Well, we still have
in the short term.
Yeah, I'm thinking in the short term. I'm looking Double or Nothing. Okay. That's 3 months from now.
All right.
So while we'll get a best friends, Orange Cassidy, Lucha Bros, Pac, 6-man tag on Dynamite this upcoming week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything precluding Pac from being one of, if not the first challenger for Mox's AEW title now.
The fact that we're sort of talking about this stuff. The thing that I love about this pay-per-view is that there are a lot of questions surrounding a lot of storylines at this point.
Uh-huh.
I mean, pretty much everything is. I mean, you can make the case like, okay, so if you look at the women's division with Nyla Rose, a pretty commanding victory over Statlander. Several people have made a pretty good case for themselves as the new number one contender.
Well, it's got to be Hikaru
Shida. You'd think she just won that match. But like even there, that's not crystal clear, but it seems like it's probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
The Inner Circle, Jericho. We're not sure if he's going to be taking a break.
He's got a lot of tour dates in April and May.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he steps aside for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that means they pull a Bullet Club type mutiny,
and
insert someone else at the leadership, whether it's someone already part of the group, or they bring somebody in like Lance Archer, like Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Remains to be seen.
That'd be a really interesting way because like Lance Archer is a commanding presence. He obviously isn't the household name of a Chris Jericho, but that would be an interesting way to really elevate him off the bat.
Heck yeah, man.
Because he has like physically and I believe on the charisma level, he has everything it takes to be a commanding figure. The Inner Circle, though, the thing is because seemingly off the bat, they're not going to be involved in the title picture.
Yeah.
They can take a step back in terms of their star wattage, their power.
Yeah.
And if you have Lance Archer in there as the, sort of the AJ Styles that takes over when Prince Devitt leaves, that could be an interesting scenario.
It could. Of course, you can also promote within their own ranks.
Sure.
Jake Hager beat Dustin Rhodes tonight. In a lot of ways, he's got the pedigree.
Mm-hmm. Who made a really good case for himself? Santana with that promo a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I could totally see him as a leader of a faction.
Totally. Or they could just break up.
I'm sure MJF versus Cody, even in the short term, isn't done.
No.
After their match.
No, given how that finished, not at all.
For sure, yeah.
And there's a lot of unanswered questions exactly about the relationship between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, despite the fact that they won the tag team title battle.
That's the most intriguing thing. I think that's your favorite story going right now.
It's the best story in wrestling
and
right
it's
now.
my favorite story
it's the
going
absolute
on.
Best.
I agree
That
totally.
little tease at the finish is everything.
Man, that was good.
Is everything.
That was really good. I really like where they're going with Hangman, and I could totally see Hangman I'd say by All In as being a title contender guy. And I don't know in what situation. Look, you can have him, and it doesn't have to be like a heel face thing, but a badass Hangman Page who's going around, lariating everybody, slingshot lariating everybody. I think it'd be a really fun matchup for Moxley.
Yeah.
Moxley.
Gian.
And of course, the biggest news of the night, no Exalted One, but we did get to see Chris Daniels sort of poke fun at
he came out in a purple robe with a hood, a la Vince when he revealed himself to be the higher power. So let's just get right into it. So the buy-in, the pre-show kicked off. SCU had an interview before the show. Christopher Daniels does a lot of talking to begin. Says tonight, the lies of the Dark Order end, and he's going to be ringside with his friendos in SCU, and Scorpio Sky's like, nah, sorry, man. How about you stay backstage for your best interests?
That was, man, why is it people don't know how to be cool, like good friends in this company?
Scorpio Sky's just keeping it real, man.
That's messed up. That's sad. Like Daniels, here's the thing. Kazarian doesn't act like the cringy old man. Daniels has embraced cringy old man. You can't send him in the back. That's messed up. You can't say, no, don't come out there with us.
Have you seen him lip sync during their theme? It's an embarrassment.
Yeah, but you don't do that on camera. You sit him down off camera on BTE, on Being the Elite, because that stuff's supposed to be flying the wall.
I mean, Scorpio Sky was like, he wanted it.
I'm not saying I disagree with him.
All right.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you do it in a classier way, Scorpio Sky. I'm disappointed. I thought he was a classier guy.
I'm not going to take Scorpio Sky to task for that. I think he did it as gently as he could. Interview best venue, maybe not, but maybe he thought maybe it's a situation where he's like, oh, I really need to do this. God, I don't really want to, but I need to do this.
Yeah, that was body language.
He pushed it off. He procrastinated
for like weeks. Yeah,
because he didn't want to do it because it made him uncomfortable. He wanted to let his.
Do you mean
friend
during the day or for weeks?
At least the day, if not weeks.
They're like showing like he's in the car. I can't.
We got to have this conversation.
Turn the music up. Yeah.
Whatever. Oh wow. I got 5 on it, Zon. Let's listen to this.
Yeah, sure.
And then that's the last moment he has to say it, and he has to say it.
Declare. You got to declare.
He has to, and he's like,
not gonna do it at Gorilla there, where or the Dusty position where Tony Khan is sitting, my boss.
No,
because then he's gonna be like, guys, what's going on? And he don't get the boss involved.
He don't get HR involved in that. No. So then we have match Dark Order versus SCU. Decent enough match. The story though happened after the match ended, after Dark Order win.
Yeah, I mean there was a whole ton of distractions towards the finish. Of course,
yeah, you
the
had
Dark Order
John Silver and Alex Reynolds out there, not to mention all the creepers and masks.
Yeah, that allowed. Let's see here.
So we had SCU set up for SCU later. Uno pulls Kazarian out.
Oh yeah,
Silver
Stu,
and Reynolds. Yeah, get on the apron, distract the ref, and then Scorpio Sky rolls up Stu Grayson. And then Uno lays out Scorpio Sky with a clothesline to break up the pin, and then Stu just covers him for the win.
Yeah,
Dark Order, you have to hit their finish.
Yeah.
So the Creepers are in. They're beating up SCU. Colt Cabana,
Chicago's
own.
That was great.
Runs out, try to make the save. He drops some Creepers on the ramp. Hockey fight with him and Stu. He's eventually overwhelmed. And then someone walks out on the ramp with the purple robe, a la Vince when he was higher power.
It was me.
Stu's like, who is that man?
Yeah.
And then he takes the hood off, robe, cape falls off. It's Daniels. He jumps over the top rope into Stu Grayson. And SCU and Colt Cabana, they clear the ring. Look for 8-man tag team action this week on Dynamite. Colt Cabana making his AEW in-ring debut.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Cool. I love him. I think he's terrific. Yeah, I really liked him on NWA, and his podcast was a lot of fun, too. I'm sad he stopped it.
Yep.
After that, we had a Jurassic Express interview.
I'm pretty sure we had the volume kind of low at this point. I'm pretty sure they said they were really interested in seeing this MJF Cody match. I don't remember because they were sitting ringside a good portion of the show. I don't remember them actually being ringside for that particular match.
No, the camera went close on them during was it this match, the Dustin Rhodes?
It was like the first two matches.
Inner Circle stuff.
Yeah, it was the first
and then the Sami, because of course Hager and Sami are Inner Circle. They got beef with them, and then but I'm like, MJF's not. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we just misheard because it was like
could be. The
volume
volume
was
was
really low. In any event, maybe
I did hear MJF at one point during their interview though.
Okay, all right. So after that, we had Dustin Rhodes versus Jake Hager. JR called him swagger during the sort of the introduction when they were just talking to the commentary guys.
Yeah.
But hey, that's okay. I call him swagger. Well, these days, no, not anymore. At the beginning, I
probably
did.
called him swagger for how many years?
Yeah,
a lot.
he probably recruited him into WWE.
May have. That's the muscle memory you have to unlearn there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
At any point did Dustin really? Yeah, I guess at a couple points Dustin had some control of this match.
He did. But I think we all figured this was
when he forced himself on Hager's wife. There
was his wife or fiance. Again,
oh yeah, I keep on saying wife. Yeah, fiance.
I think that said fiance.
Okay, cool. Right on.
Again, volume was low, so it could be.
Doesn't make it okay that he did this. That they're not.
You don't do that. No.
That they're not married. She was grossed out. I would be too.
Yeah. So the finish of that saw Dustin set up for that kick he does to his opponent's front area. Aubrey gets in the way, say, hey, you can't do that. So Hager escapes. Aubrey kind of turns her back briefly. Dustin does kick Hager in the front area.
He does, yeah.
Follows with a destroyer, gets two. Dustin goes for a cross arm breaker. Hager reverses an ankle lock. Dustin escapes that. Sends Hager towards the ref. He stops short, no ref bump. And then Hager hits Dustin with a knee to the front area. Locks in. Remember when Braun came out and started doing that bear hug chokehold type thing? Yeah. That's Hager's new finish, apparently. Yeah. He locked that in. Ref stopped the match. Aubrey Edwards stopped the match because Dustin was losing consciousness, apparently. Hager wins.
I'm cool with that as a finish. I like that. Big, strong guy has like a squeeze you finish.
And I guess in theory it could be MMA inspired.
What was his? Because didn't he hit like his
finish in WWE was the ankle lock.
It's the ankle lock, yeah. So he had that locked on at one point, and then he went to that. So I don't know. I'm fine with that. It's MMA based. I'm cool with that. I mean,
he lost the singlet. He doesn't do the singlet anymore.
I was cool with that too, but he had knee brace issues, like the cloth on his knee brace.
Like it fell apart.
It was like made out of paper mache, man.
It basically seemed like it fell apart.
Yeah, totally.
Decent enough match. Getting Hager over again. I guess if there's going to be a power vacuum at the top of Inner Circle, he can throw his hat in there.
The problem is he doesn't talk, and that's really effective for him. Santana's really good at talking, but we'll see how it shakes out.
How's Sami do the talking?
Do you think? Oh, I love it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Have Sami do the talking.
That'd be great. Do you think they should do a little mini Civil War thing, or not a Civil War, but like
a power struggle?
Why don't they play Boar on the floor?
There you go.
Why don't they do that?
It's time to play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time to play the game.
I'm gonna throw some sausages on the floor.
After that, they announced the March 25th episode of Dynamite from Newark, New Jersey.
I love this.
They said 2 rings, 1 cage,
war. Just war.
Blood and guts. It's AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts.
I love this because they don't need a dang pay-per-view. They just have themed episodes of Dynamite, and I think that's terrific.
Yep. You might be able to copyright a trademark and name for a match, but I don't think you trademark the match itself.
And there's more stank on it when you take one of Vince McMahon's insults at your company, and then you turn it into a thing. That's great. That's terrific.
That's why Cody is he's damn near a genius.
Keep that chip on your shoulder, man.
Heck yeah, man. That's going to be great. And I like that they even had the font with like the dripping blood off it.
Oh, that looked great. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The tracking was too far off, though. They need to squeeze those letters in. I'm a fan of having tight letters, like just a sliver of space.
I think at the time, if it's right, I'm fine with having the tracking far apart. Depends on the font. I think sometimes the tracking far apart looks really good.
They should have fleshed it up a little bit more. Like it looked like something
like
a
Raw
Gate
viscera.
Mutant. Yeah, maybe too much blood and guts.
Like have some entrails hanging off one of the letters because it is blood and guts, not just blood.
And it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a Cronenberg thing.
Exactly.
Sami Guevara versus Darby Allin.
This was fun. There was a lot going on before the bell even rang.
This made me laugh because Darby Allin, he took Sami Guevara by surprise by skateboarding all the way down to the ring, through the ring, and on to Sami Guevara.
Yeah, before the bell. So Sami comes out first. Darby's second. He gets to the ring. As soon as he gets in the ring, he's like, all right, Sami's ringside, and launches himself, suicide dive.
Yeah, it was great.
Into Sami. Follows the shotgun drop kick at the barricade. Goes for like an elbow or something. He misses that. Sami hits him with a huge running knee. They're brawling all around ringside. Hey, Jurassic Express are sitting there. And then Darby sets Sami over the barricade, shapes him over, goes for a suicide dive, comes up a little bit short.
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed, and I appreciated, because when there's not a lot of room between the barricade and the ring apron, dangerous stuff can happen.
Yeah.
But also, and Darby Allin, look, man, if any, I would put money on either him or Phoenix as being as guys who could launch themselves the furthest on a suicide dive. And do you think this was a?
I don't know. I mean, they should replays. His heel did clip the top rope.
Okay, yeah.
When he was going through the top and second rope.
I mean, I find it difficult to believe that they would have him do this on purpose, because it just sort of makes his character look like an asshole and doesn't really enhance anything else.
I know. So he's selling like he ate it, which he did. Sami gets his skateboard, chucks it at him, gets the table out from under the ring, puts Sami on it. Goes to the top, hits a 630.
That was awesome.
That was amazing.
That was so great.
Bell still hasn't rung.
Yeah.
So Sami gets back in the ring. He's telling the ref, hey, just ring the bell. Let's get this going. Or he can't fight. Call the match.
Which I wouldn't blame. Look, man, Darby got himself in that position. He didn't wait for a proper match. He went at it.
Yep.
High risk, high reward.
Exactly. So Darby pulls himself up, gets in the ring. Ref rings the bell. Sami runs with like a huge running knee. It was massive.
Yeah.
That earns him a 2 count. He's in control for a while. He's going after Darby's throat. Of course, several weeks back, he ran skateboard into Darby's throat.
That was the thing.
And then Darby makes a comeback, starts working over Sami's arm. Sami gets to the bottom rope. I think it was like a Fujiwara armbar. And then Sami pulls Darby into the top rope, follows with a coup de grace on the apron, gets a 2. Darby hits Code Red. That gets him a 2 count. Then he goes up top. Sami meets him up there. Darby fights him off. Sami jumps right back up. And within the span of like a quarter of a second, jumps on the top rope right into a Spanish fly.
Yeah.
That's like the fastest transition to a Spanish fly I've seen in a long time.
It's great when you have the 2 guys in the company who are probably, like, in terms of being really lightweight, being able to do all that flippy stuff, they can just like run up to the top and do one of those, you know?
But usually in WWE, when they do that kind of stuff, they take a beat to make sure everything's set, everything's ready.
9 times out of 10, everybody does that. But I mean, that's my thing about these guys, is that they have such, that's why they're so awesome. They have such like a reckless abandon sort of thing going for them. It's these 2 and Ray Phoenix. All those guys, it's like they're so light, they have the body control to be able to do that stuff. Much, but like we saw some top rope stuff with Nyla Rose and Statlander. We saw some top rope stuff. I'm trying to think. I didn't really notice with anybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, typically things can get a little bit awkward when you're bigger than 130 pounds or whatever these guys are. You know, I mean, they're probably 150 or 160. But yeah, it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Sami got a 2 there.
Yeah.
Ref's checking on Darby. Sami goes the opposite turnbuckle, rips cover off. Tries to ram Darby into it. Darby reverses. Like flips Sami over right into the turnbuckle. Sami goes for a suplex. Darby reverses that to a stunner, hits the coffin drop for the win.
Man, he cleared a lot of that mat.
It was
too.
basically halfway.
It
across
was
the ring.
at least.
So Darby then puts Sami across the middle rope, grabs the skateboard. Hager runs out, rescues Sami from that particular situation.
Yeah.
He was in dire straits.
It was a pretty quick match too. It was like, I don't know, probably
They
10
got a lot
minutes
in.
or so. Yeah, it was nonstop. It was nonstop, and it was a lot of fun.
It was. Speaking of a lot of fun, match of the year contender, Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega, Hangman Page. Anytime anybody says the Young Bucks don't know how to tell a story,
They prove them wrong.
they can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. This match was all about storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Young Bucks got their moves in. Yeah, Hangman got his moves in. Yeah, Kenny got his moves in. But it was all within the context of the story. The story, of course, was Young Bucks are a couple of a-holes when it comes to getting those titles because they haven't got them yet. I get that. They want those belts. Because everybody, including themselves, probably consider them the best tag team in the world. But without the validation, those titles, it's just a lot of talk.
So there are 3 men who want their cake and eat it too. We want to be best friends. We want to be family
And competitors.
but we also want those titles. And you can't do that. You can't do. There's one man who, despite not being sober most of the time, is sober to this.
He's sober when it counts.
He's clear-minded when it comes to the facts of the situation. we are a tag team and we're trying to fight off people trying to get our titles, and we can't be your best friends. We can't do it.
Exactly.
And so this match very quickly, from the second Matt Jackson extended his hand out to Hangman, Hangman spits in his face, and Matt Jackson turns it on, and we saw some evil Young Bucks tonight. And man, it was so much fun to watch. I'm not going to even call this a complaint because I think this is going to play into the story. And we'll go through the big beats of the match here in a second. But Paige and Omega won the match, and the Young Bucks brought it back down. They said, "Hey, you know what? You guys are the winners. Congratulations." They didn't keep the heel thing going.
They didn't super kick him, yeah.
They didn't super kick him. I really kind of want to see that be the next phase of this feud going into Double or Nothing, because I want this to go.
There's more here.
I mean, that Double or Nothing is 3 months away. I want this to keep going there.
Yeah.
I want to see this make a turn at freaking Blood and Guts.
Yeah, man. That'd be great.
I want to see somebody bloody.
Hell yeah, man. That's just next month.
Really terrific match.
So after the whole spit in the face thing, Young Bucks are working heel, isolating Paige. Paige starts working over Matt's back whenever he gets the advantage. Kenny's in. He keeps working Matt's back. Kenny and Paige at this point are working really well.
Mm-hmm.
Paige is ringside. He tries to powerbomb Matt through the timekeeper table. Kenny runs down and is like, let's just win the match. Tosses Matt back in the ring. Take things too far and let's just win. We'd see the kind of the mirror of that later on towards the finish. So later on, Nick gets the tag in. He clears house, locks in a sharpshooter on Paige. Kenny breaks up with the Kataro Crusher. He goes for a Terminator Tope. Matt breaks that up. Kenny fends him off, goes for it again. Matt kicks him. No Terminator Tope in this match.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Nick covers, gets a 2. We saw Matt pile driving Kenny here. Matt Jackson double chop Hangman Page with the throat.
Yeah.
What's a more heel move than that?
Other
sticking a finger in an eye or kick so in the front area.
Cattle prod. You heard it here first.
Cattle prod. And so Nick gets back in later on. He takes it to Kenny and Paige. Paige sends him out of the ring. So he goes to do a springboard thing. Paige pushes him off. Nick flips, lands on his feet, turns around, and then hits a sunset flip destroyer.
This next bit was my favorite.
This was great. So Paige makes a comeback. He does Marty's chicken wing thing.
But he does it so smooth.
It was great.
So smooth, like he's done it a million times.
I know.
It was as fluid as Marty when he calls
fantastic.
for it, because he does a
Great.
spin in the
Chicken wing.
thing. Yeah.
It was great. So he locks it in on Matt. Nick breaks it up with a 450. Matt covers, only gets a 2 count. Paige has a fantastic moonsault slam on Matt. That gets a 2 count. Hits a nasty power bomb. Kenny follows the V trigger. Nick must have broken up that pin. Later on, Matt starts working Kenny's shoulder. So he walks in the match with some rock tape on his shoulder. Selling the
this is a great story beat.
The match against Pac. And so Matt starts stomping on it, rips off the rock tape.
So at this point, up until this point, Matt was blood fever. He was ordering Nick what to do. He was like,
It was around this time, yeah.
Yeah. So he was telling him what to do. It was just, blood feud going on here. So Matt rips the rock tape off his shoulder. Nick's like, dude,
calm down.
Bring it down a notch.
He literally said, let's just win the match.
Let's just win the match.
Before that, I want to mention this. This was great. This was fantastic. So Kenny, he hits the V trigger on Nick. And so he sets up for a one-winged angel. He's in the corner. But he goes with the second rope.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I just want to finish this.
Yeah.
Nick reverses that into a poison Rana.
Yeah, it was like the slowest motion poison
I know.
Rana.
It had stank on it. Matt follows the trio of Northern Light suplexes on Paige on the ramp.
Yeah.
And the final one, he really takes a moment. It's like, all right, I got to do this.
Yeah.
So he does it not on the part of the ramp. He does it on the part of the ramp that has like the LED on it.
Yeah.
Which you would think would be harder.
Yeah.
Because it's not hollow. And then the Bucks follow the Meltzer driver on Paige on the ramp. At this point, we were both, oh, you young Bucks, you a-holes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want you to lose so bad.
It's good stuff.
So it's down to the Kenny and the Bucks in the ring. So they hit some super kicks on him. A double Kamagoye cover. Kenny kicks out at 1.
Yeah.
Is on his knees like, do it again.
Yeah.
Because before they hit it.
It's the Golden Lovers thing.
And the Young Bucks said that.
And they said that, yeah.
They said Golden Trigger, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
And hit it on Kenny, and Kenny kicks right. He's like, give it to me again. They hit again. Kenny kicks out too, and that's when Matt starts working the shoulder. That bit with the Kamigoye I thought was fantastic. Mm-hmm. And so Matt goes after Kenny's shoulder, starts kicking it, rips off the rock tape. Nick says, let's just worry about win the match. Matt's staring at his hands. He's got a ball of rock tape in one hand. He's like, all right. Buck set up for Meltzer driver. When Nick is about to do the springboard off the apron, Paige pulls Nick off. And there's just a table sitting ringside for the first, third of the show. We're like, why is that table there? It's got a tablecloth on it. Someone's going through it.
We weren't asking why it was there. We were just asking which of these guys are going to go through.
And we both said a Jackson, and it was Nick Jackson.
Yeah, it was Nick Jackson.
He gets powerbombed through that by Paige. Kenny and Paige hit their finish. We think match over. No, Matt kicks out.
That's great because they've been finishing people off with that left and right.
Yeah.
But this is a big match.
So then Kenny hits a V trigger. He tries for a one-winged angel. He can't do it because his shoulder's busted up.
Yeah.
So Matt escapes. Paige gets tagged in. He hits a one-winged angel on Matt.
Yeah.
Nick breaks up that pin.
Yeah, that was really terrific right there.
So then Paige hits a buckshot on Nick, then tries to do the same, then to Matt. Paige covers him for the win. Paige gets the win for his team.
Mm-hmm.
So as you mentioned, Matt and Nick walk up to Kenny and Paige. They're like, hey, let's shake hands. Mm-hmm. And at first Kenny's like, get out of here. Go away.
Yeah.
And then the Young Bucks talk to him, and he's like, all right, fine.
They're like, we're trying to show some respect. They're like, here, take your spot here in the ring, and we'll back off. But it's like,
they really didn't.
It's the direction. It's like like Matt's like saying, here, we're gonna gift this to you.
I know.
Like telling them what to do again.
I know. And so Kenny fist bumps the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ring, and this whole time, Paige is against the ropes, kind of where the ramp is.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so Paige sort of gets he then leaves the ropes.
Well, they're inviting him
on the other side.
They're inviting him to join.
Yeah, and he's like, no, it's not.
So
he
leaves. He's standing there. Yeah, on the opposite
he
side
puts
of the
his
ropes.
title down. He puts his belt down.
Grabs the ropes.
But
Kenny has his back to him.
Remember, as he's getting out of the ropes, he flashes a smile really quick.
Yeah, it was great.
And then takes the smile off his face as he turns around. He gets out and he grabs the rope like he's going to do a buckshot lariat. And Kenny then turns around and the whole crowd's like, "Oh!" And Kenny looks at the crowd like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah, the timing of it was perfect because they gave Paige just like perfect, like a beat and a half holding that rope. So you think he's about to do it after that little smile, and then Kenny turns around and Paige is like, "Here, I'll open the ropes for you, partner."
Paige is on this train until those titles are done, and then he is laying everybody out. He's at the point where he might not even care if he does it now.
Yeah, I know.
And it tickles him, and that's what that character moment was.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I just want to lay this dude out, but we're really good together. We got these titles. Where's my beer? And one awesome fan gives him a full beer.
Yeah, man.
And as they go up and they leave.
It was fantastic.
So yeah, it was totally This reminded me of Bucks versus the Golden Lovers when we saw them a couple years ago.
Long Beach, yeah.
Oh man, this was definitely in there.
Yep.
Following that was Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose.
Man, I feel so bad for Chris Statlander because we heard earlier in the week that she had to cancel an appearance at Bar Wrestling because she was dealing with some sort of illness. As soon as she walked out, you could tell she was still sick.
You could see it on her face.
You could tell she did not feel well. So I felt bad. She put forth a really gutsy performance.
Yeah.
Tried her damnedest.
Mm-hmm.
You could still tell that she was sick. That being said, they still told a pretty effective story.
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was good. But you could tell there was a couple moments when she just seemed a little slow, a little out of it, which is kind of dangerous in a wrestling ring. But no, it was fine. Nyla Rose, of course, ended up getting the win with.
It's like a second rope powerbomb.
Yeah, that's right.
And it took something like it because I think Nyla hit a powerbomb earlier on that Chris kicked out of. And commentary was playing up the fact that she was ill too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, there was like a superplex spot where Statlander had a hard time getting Nyla up.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It just because Statlander's like she's awesome.
She's really crisp in
good.
the ring.
She's really
so.
crisp.
This was like
She just seemed like a half step slow. You could just tell that she wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer because I think if she was feeling 100%, this match would have been awesome, like super awesome.
Yeah.
So you see the beats they lay out here, and if it was crisp and perfectly executed, it would have been a really good match.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of when Kairi Sane went down during that was like an Extreme Rules match or something.
It was TLC.
TLC, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, man, on paper that was probably a really good match, and then one person goes down, and then people have to start figuring it out.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about this real quick. 3 months till Double or Nothing, where the next big thing's going to happen. But obviously, Nyla Rose will probably have at least a couple title defenses
on
between
Dynamite,
now and then. Like you said, Sheeta's probably the next one in line. What do you think the big thing at Double or Nothing is going to be?
I don't know. My understanding that Awesome Kong is away shooting the next season of Glow.
Yeah,
I think
going to take that long.
Exactly.
Assuming she's going to come back.
Yeah. Have her come back as a face, and challenge Nyla for that title.
Big match. It'll be a big match. That'd be good. In the meantime, yeah, Sheeta, that could be really good. I wouldn't mind Riho coming back for a rematch.
Yeah.
Because their match to get that title
was a lot of fun.
It was really good, yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Statlander get another crack at it at 100%, because I think that'd be fantastic. Maybe they will eventually come back around to that.
I'd like to see this match again. Yeah, assuming Statlander was actually sick and this just wasn't bad chemistry.
Oh, she was totally sick.
Yeah, I'd like to see this match like when everybody's
As soon as she walked out
at
of the apron. Shout out though to her dancing alien she had in her Tron
yeah, that
tonight.
was pretty cool. Yeah, the stage looked great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But as soon as she walked out, I was like, oh man, she does not feel well.
Yeah.
She did not feel well.
After that, we had MJF versus Cody. You can always tell Cody matches are like little mini movies because they're always overbooked.
Yeah, they are.
They're always very emotional. They're always like plot twists and characters getting involved and always blood. And we saw a lot of that. And we also saw the debut of a brand new neck tattoo for Cody. He got a Nightmare Family logo right here, just eating up that neck of his.
And it's like palm sized.
It's massive. It's something else. It's something else.
Yeah.
It's something else.
It was distracting is what it was. It was really distracting.
I mean, I don't know how effective laser surgery removal is these days, but you can't go back. I mean, here's the thing. He got it done. You can't go back from it.
Not
It's just
100%.
there now.
Yeah,
it's just
100% there.
I mean, if he wanted to, he could. But I feel like philosophically, given how he's a very public person and in his position, you know, basically top babyface of the company, sort of above titles guy, you can't go back on a tattoo. You can't be like, yeah, this is a bad idea. I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know. Because then everybody's like, remember when he had that tattoo?
Yeah.
Remember when he had that stupid tattoo? Oh, that was that match.
Yeah.
So MJF.
It's just feel it's a matter. It's feel like it's a matter of placement.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, Cody's happy with a huge neck tattoo. More power to him.
Yeah.
It's just really distracting.
It was pretty distracting. MJF's entrance robe and deep spray tan and heater Wardlow looked great.
All less distracting than Cody's tattoo.
He did try to distract us a little bit with his wonderful tights, though, Cody.
Yeah. Those were great.
It was gold on gold.
Gold on gold with some iridescence.
Iridescence, yeah.
It was very nice.
That looked really cool.
And then at first, the whole Nightmare family, sans DDP, unfortunately.
Yeah, no DDP.
No DDP. Maybe a couple students at, was it Nightmare Academy?
Yeah,
his
there's some
wrestling
people
school?
we didn't recognize.
One guy looked like a amalgam of Cameron Grimes and Riddick Moss.
Yeah.
Anyways, they kind of told him good luck and made their leave, and it was Cody, Brandy, and Arn ringside.
Yeah, and then Wardlow for MJF.
Early on, there's back and forth. Both of them seemingly want to end it pretty quick. MJF gets out of there, goes in the heat, and the crowd starts healing up, knocking people drinks, knocking somebody's hat off their head. Gets back in the ring. Cody hits that punch where he falls on the ground and punches somebody. Cody Cutter gets like a 1.5. MJF rolls up the ramp. Cody did something that was fun but kind of cheesy. He sprints all the way up to the stage. I guess he just happened to know that MJF was going to stand up by the time he got back up there. Sprints back down the ramp to lariat him over.
Well, the great thing is he sprint up the stage and around the corner. So, like, it looked like he was just sort of running away.
I know.
But, yeah, then he comes back and he runs and he does that thing.
Later on, Wardlow was not afraid to get involved in this match, so he pulls MJF out of the ring.
Mm-hmm. Brandy comes over with a cup of water, dumps it on him in his awesome-looking suit.
Man.
So heel heat for her. He's getting mad at her. Is that when Arn got the chair, or is that later?
No, that was later. So she walks away. He follows. And then as he's walking after her, Cody hits a suicide dive on Wardlow.
Oh, yeah.
Cody tries to get back in the ring. MJF pulls his shoulder to the top rope. And then Wardlow slams it into the ring post. And then MJF tosses him to another ring post, starts working over his arm.
So here's a story beat. MJF then takes off Cody's boot. It was the foot with the broken toe on it. Mm-hmm. And then he starts trying to eat some dinner.
You know, it actually, considering that Cody lost a toenail off that toe, it actually makes more sense that he bit it.
I know, yeah. It was some good, yeah. They should have shown that on, like, the
Instagram post, I know.
The Instagram post with, like, the busted up, the toenail that came off. It's disgusting.
That probably hurt.
Yeah.
So Cody makes a comeback, hits the reverse suplex off the top rope, follows with the disaster kick, goes for a suicide dive, but Wardlow's off on the apron. So Cody stops. Arn gets a chair. He walks towards Wardlow.
And then all of a sudden you look and MJF has cut basically his hairline. He's gigged his entire hairline. And there's just blood everywhere on his face. Again, this is a Cody match. So
Cody starts going after the giant wound on MJF's head. Mm-hmm. This spot was great. So MJF goes for a pin on Cody. And in full view of the referee, he puts his feet on the ropes, and Wardlow comes over and tries to hold him down.
So this referee in general just sort of took rules as suggestions.
But the ref's reaction to this was great because it was, really?
It was like, ugh, come on, dude, just right in front of me? Really?
So Brandy jumps off the apron at Wardlow. He catches her. Cody comes up to Wardlow, hey, let my wife down.
Yeah.
He does. He tries to kick Wardlow. Wardlow gets out of the way. And Cody kicks Arn square in the face.
Oh, no. And everybody goes down to make sure Arn didn't just die.
I know. So Cody rolls back in the ring. MJF hits a low blow. Cody kicks out of that. That spot I've seen done, it always makes me worried where someone tries to suplex someone else out of the ring.
I hate that spot.
I hate that spot,
yeah.
Cody goes for a crossroads. MJF reverses it into a double cross. Cody kicks out. MJF takes the weight belt off Cody. The ref takes it from him. This is when the ref was really being liberal with the rules. Ref takes it from him, as he should. Cody low blows MJF. Ref didn't see it.
Yeah.
Hits a vertebreaker. MJF kicks out. And then Cody gets the weight belt, hits MJF with it. And the ref's like, give me the belt.
Don't do that. Give me the belt. And then Cody says, come on, man, just let me get one in, even though he already got one in. And the ref literally just shrugged, gives him the title, gives him the belt, and says, all right, whatever.
And so Cody gets one more shot in.
Aubrey would never have let nobody else. Knox, nobody would have let them do that.
I know.
Except for this guy here.
I know. So he gets one more shot in, tosses the belt to the crowd, and then MJF grabs Cody's ankle. He's crying. He stands up. He hugs Cody. He's like, "I'm sorry, Cody," and then spits in his face. Cody hits crossroads, then another, goes for another. MJF knees him. Apparently, at some point, he'd gotten the diamond ring in his hand out of his tights.
Yeah.
Put it on his finger. He punches Cody with it, puts the ring back in his tights, covers him, and gets the win.
And there's your win. So MJF gets the win right there.
Cheating to win.
And it obviously seems like, this is a great story that got going on right here. And obviously it's gonna keep on going.
Yep.
The only question is now that MJF has a win over Cody, what's Cody gonna be able to do to convince MJF to run it back and get another one going?
Yeah, I know.
So we'll see if he'll have to take 20 lashes this time.
Who knows? Next, this match with the Blast, Pac versus Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
It was all about establishing or informing people that Orange Cassidy can, in fact, wrestle.
Well,
he's not just a comedy gimmick.
And here's the great thing, too, is that I honestly think that out of everything that happened tonight at Revolution, at no point was the crowd hotter than they were tonight for Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at fever pitch, they were at fever pitch, and it was really, really.
It was
fun.
really cool. So early on, Cassidy tries to put his hands in his pocket. Pac's like, stop. Cassidy flips him over, and then he's doing the shin kicks thing, and Pac's playing along with it. It was actually pretty funny. And then Orange Cassidy, steps back, sweet shin music time. Pac just pushes him over, and then Orange Cassidy does all sorts of stuff. Hip tosses, all sorts of crazy stuff, all with his hands in his pocket.
Yeah.
It was pretty great. Orange goes for a suicide dive. Pac intercepts him with a kick. Sends Orange ringside, tosses him the barricade, then the ring post. That was a hell of a sell on that ring post shot.
Because it was like just his head.
I know.
He went, yeah.
He has the upper hand. Hits a massive power bomb. Gets him a 2 count. Pac hits a superplex. That earns him a 2 count. goes up top, and then Orange Cassidy rolls out of the ring. So Pac goes around, tosses him back in, goes the opposite corner. Orange Cassidy rolls out of the ring. And this is a funny little bit where Orange is there in the ring kind of smiling at Pac.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cassidy eventually hits that suicide dive with his hands in his pocket.
Yeah.
And then hits a top rope crossbody, a tornado DDT. Pac kicks out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
He goes for a brain buster. Orange reverses that into a stunner. Goes up top. Pac knocks him off. Joins him up top. He goes for like a tombstone, it looked like. Orange reversed that into a DDT off the top. And then goes back up. A jumping DDT.
Mm-hmm.
Pac rolls out on the ramp. Trent puts him back in. Cassidy hits an air raid crash, gets 2. Lucha Brothers run out. They and Best Friends brawl. So Orange is distracted by that. And that allows Pac an opportunity to lock in the Brutalizer.
And like immediately, Orange Cassidy taps her. He says, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
He tapped with his head. He did this. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I probably would have had... I don't know. It's Pac. You can't have Pac lose necessarily.
And I think here's the thing: is Orange Cassidy. Right now they've introduced him to a wider audience as this character, who by doing very little can be wildly entertaining.
Yeah.
This match wasn't about getting Orange Cassidy the win. This match was about showing people that Orange Cassidy can wrestle.
Yeah.
He's more than
It's going
his
to make
gimmick.
people want to see more of that. Yeah.
He can probably take a handful of losses, and when he wins, do you think the roof would blow out the place if he won this match?
Yeah.
Just wait a few weeks when he actually does beat somebody.
Yeah.
And that place is going to explode.
Yeah, I agree.
And then our main event, Mox versus Jericho. Rough, physical, deliberate brawl that saw Mox take a good chunk out of his forehead under his eye patch. But surprise, his eye was all healed up anyways.
He even did all the pantomiming stuff. He takes it off at the end, and he's like, I can see all of you. I can see you.
I can see you.
The oldest trick in the book.
I
kayfabed it. So it started out. The first couple minutes of this was just them brawling through the crowd.
Yeah.
Jericho has sort of evolved his game into a very brawly game.
He's a brawler now.
He's a brawler now.
He's
That's
not
what he
so much
does.
a technical wrestler anymore. He's a brawler now.
Right. Exactly.
And so there was a lot of brawling ringside, a lot of brawling. XLAX got involved for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Santana and Ortiz get on the apron. Mox knocks Santana off. Tries to do the same with Ortiz. Instead, Mox gets hit with the sock.
Yeah.
Jericho follows with the line salt. Gets the 2, and it was great. Later on, Aubrey kicks XLAX out.
Mm-hmm.
She really...
Oh, man. I love that. It's funny, dude, because we've talked before about how we really like our interviewers to be, to give the same respect to the interviewers that WWF used to give to Mean Gene. Have them be part of the interview. Have them be part of the story of the interview. And they don't really do that a lot these days. Thankfully, AEW does. When Shivani's interviewing, he's always part of it.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea because I've heard this on Twitter or whatever. But I'm a big fan of Aubrey. I think she brings a lot to the match.
She's fantastic.
And I like the idea. I mean, one of our favorite refs, maybe our favorite ref of all time, Red Shoes, is always part of a story. He's always very animated like this, and he's always somebody who's getting in the mix.
Yep.
And so I totally love her role in this.
Totally.
And yeah, she did the spinning her fingers like this. She did a whole 360 and then tossed them out.
Yeah, it was great.
I love
It
that
was
stuff.
fantastic.
I think it's
so.
great.
What led up to that was Hager comes out after XLX was already out there. Hager runs out. He's on the apron. Mox clocks him. Jericho then hits a code breaker right into the walls. Mox gets the ropes though, and then Mox starts getting in Aubrey's face. Mox hits the belly to back on him, then a clothesline.
Or Jericho got in Aubrey's face.
Sorry, yes, Jericho got in Aubrey's face. My apologies. And then Hager clocks Mox, and Aubrey got the sense that happened, and that's when she tossed.
Yeah.
However, while she's distracted with the inner circle, getting them out of there, Sami runs in, hits Mox with the title. Jericho, of course, covers. Mox kicks out. Shortly thereafter, Mox goes for a paradigm shift. Jericho gouges Mox's good eye.
Yeah, I mean, from way earlier on, Mox was already bleeding.
Oh, he's bleeding a ton out of his from under his eye patch.
Yeah,
then he kept on having to reposition it or something.
Yeah, then he boots him in the good eye. Then he drops a knee on him from the second rope. And was it at this point when he got the big?
No, he was bleeding already from earlier.
Because wasn't there it seemed like there were 2 blood spots. There was when he got a powerbomb through the table, he was bleeding there, not through the when the ring bell went early.
Yeah. I think what it was is that he had the eye patch and was covering up the wound, and somebody, I think the blood was maybe pooling up somewhat under the eye patch, and so he'd adjust it, and then like blood would just come pouring out.
Yeah, maybe that could be.
So Mox is doing the "Hey, I can't see anything" thing like he did against Santana, so he's swinging wildly. Mm-hmm. And so Jericho sets up for a Judas effect. Mox ducks that. Then he avoids a clothesline. Hits a paradigm shift, but not the elevated one.
Right.
That's
So
when he takes the eye
dirty,
patch
yeah.
off and is like,
Look,
can
it's
see.
good.
I'm all right.
I'm good.
And then he hits another paradigm shift. That gets him the win. Pretty much immediately as Jericho rolls out of the ring, they get a brand new T-shirt with the AEW title with Mox spray painted on it. And back says, "I was there." I'm guessing that was available to purchase at the conclusion of the show at all the merchandise stands.
Yep.
And so he drops a promo. And he says,
"You are the end. This title belongs here." I'll recreate it.
well, first he says, "I love this ish."
Yeah, I love this shit. It's great.
And it says, pretty much says, "Fans, this is all for you."
This title is for Chicago.
He says, the fans are the energy that fuels AEW. Said a year ago, I assume himself, Tony Khan, the EVPs at AEW, had a conversation about bringing pro wrestling. Pro wrestling. He put heavy emphasis on pro wrestling. Back to the people. Says his title win is for all the fans. Says his beer clock.
Whoa, gimmick infringement.
And there's like a weird pause, like he's looking towards a ramp, like someone's going to come out.
Yeah.
They hit his music, and then he goes, "What the F?"
Yeah.
And then music stops, and he says, "I'm not going to hide behind this title. I'm going to run through everybody. I'm going to beat everybody. It's time to knock back some whiskey." And then he leaves.
So then he leaves, it goes to black, and then it cuts back, and then we're back in with him for about 2 seconds, and it goes back to black, and it says, "Thank you for watching this event. Good night from Chicago," or whatever.
Yeah.
We tied. We literally got everything right.
Yeah, predictions-wise. So it's a tie.
I felt bad about I did not feel good about my Omega Page pick. I thought the Young Bucks walking into today, I thought they were going to have it, but they didn't.
Nope.
We tied, so this
Stays there.
stays with me.
On your shoulder, trying to
Get this one
lose
stolen.
that one.
I didn't lose Big Red. It was stolen. Not with this.
No, you did that at first.
No,
That's the truth.
I didn't.
It was stolen.
I didn't lose it.
Anyways, let's just finish this.
Hey, we did. Hey, congratulations, though. Too good me because we are Discord champions.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know how all that works.
Me neither, but we're that.
It's cool.
We were told that we won something.
Yeah. Good for us.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm excited about that. Yeah, anyways. So that's it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Want to give a shout-out to everybody, by the way. If you guys have been paying attention, you guys know that we did this charity drive for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And coming out of that crap show that was Crown Royal,
Yeah.
we had raised about $1,500. That's now up to $2,100.
Yeah, it was around $1,500 when the show ended. Shortly thereafter, it bumped up to $1,700. And then once the recap went up and word got out, we're up to about $2,100 right now.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Thank you so much, everybody.
It's really great. Also, for the next couple days, friendomarket.com and friendomerch.com. If you go there, it directs you to our Teespring store where we got more stuff. 20% off. Use the promo code REVO, R-V-O. I'm sorry, R-E-V-O. R-E-V-O.
R-E-V-O.
The first part of the word revolution. That gets you 20% off. That's going to be good for like a couple days. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.